Okay, welcome back. First, I want to clear something up because of the last video I made about my AntiFans. It seemed to be received the wrong way. I think it was probably the way I worded the title. I wasn't getting bored of the AntiFans, actually. What I was talking about was getting bored of the internet, YouTube and MySpace, and it's just getting really dry. It's actually the AntiFans, or should I say anti-fan, because it really was just one guy, right, who just was really dedicated to his cause. He's the one who actually kind of got me out of my slump and got me back into it. I do appreciate everybody's input on it, though. It was fun to see everyone's comments and things. I have since gotten bored with the guy and blocked him. And so, yeah, I got bored of him and just kind of got done with that. But in that video, I mentioned that things that I was using to fill up my time instead. And one of the things that I mentioned was working on my survival skills. I know I've mentioned this briefly before in other videos. You might not have even seen it. But people have been saying that it would be interesting to make some videos about that. And I did have that in mind, to be honest with you. I'm mostly waiting for warm weather to get out and impart a little bit of the knowledge that I've picked up. I'm no pro by any means, but I do think it's important to have skills like making fire, things like that, you know, very simple. What about water? What are you going to do if you got no city water? You know, we've grown pretty soft with a lot of stuff. And what are you going to do? Go out to the creek and drink out of the creek? I wouldn't suggest that. And so I'm going to make an intro to survival skills on this episode. With survivalism, there's pretty much two schools. You got your primitivists. Okay, they're people who focus on primitive skills, clearly, like making fire without cigarette lighters and without charcoal fluid. And how to go about getting water, hunting, foraging, you know, hunter and gatherer type things. That's pretty much my thing, hunter-gatherer. And you also got the survivalists. And I'm sure you guys have seen these guys. Either you know somebody like this, or you've at least seen them portrayed in movies and TV, which is usually done in a really cynical way. These are the guys who are mostly the paramilitary type, who you know, they have a garage full of guns and ammo, and they got camo clothes and little portable heaters and generators and things like that. And I'm not going to say either one's better than the other. I've known some guys like that, and actually I was one of those guys for a while. The thing is, I don't use guns, so I kind of got out of that. You know, I'm not really the military type anyway. But you will see these guys. The thing with me is I try to get back to basics. You know, what are you going to do when you run out of ammo? A lot of these guys, they're pretty much dependent on those guns and military equipment, things like that. I'm actually somewhere in between, because I do have a lot of military equipment and gear. And no, I don't chisel out stone knives. And that's what I want to talk about right now, is some basic equipment that you're going to want. Even if you don't plan on living in the wilderness, you're going to want some certain basic equipment just in case emergency strikes. Like, for example, this past winter we had a really severe ice storm, and we actually didn't get it very bad. We were without power for 3 days, 3 solid days, and we did fine. There was other people, you might be one of them, who went over a week with no electricity. Okay, that means no refrigeration. Okay, after a while you're not going to have city water, things like that. No heat in the dead of winter. So it's good to know, you know, how to deal with that sort of thing, be a little bit more well-rounded, if you will. First and foremost, what you're going to want is a good knife. Okay, this is just a hunting knife. As you can see, it's seen a lot of action. Okay, actually, this isn't the knife I use anymore. This is my knife here. Okay. Also, what you're going to want is a good hatchet. Okay. another piece of equipment I have that's seen a lot of action. Another piece of equipment you're going to want, and this probably won't seem very primitivist to you, but you're going to want a can opener. Okay? How many people have an electric can opener sitting on their counter? Right? Not going to work when power goes out, people. Not going to work outside. I can stick this in my back pocket and take it with me. I even know a lot of people that don't have a manual can opener anymore. And to me, that's just ridiculous. Because hunter-gatherer, foraging in your environment, very likely your environment is going to have somewhat of a supply of canned food around. You know what I mean? You're not necessarily going to have to dig up roots and eat berries. You want to know how to do that, but you also, let's say you come across a case of canned food and you got to use this to open it, right? You want a can opener. Now, yeah, any one of these can be used as a weapon, obviously, but that's not the reason that you want them. That's not the reason that I have them. This is not for scalping people, right? White man. Nothing like that. These are tools, very important tools. Even if you're not planning on going out there and hunting, a hunting knife and a hatchet, very valuable. Clearly the hatchet for gathering wood. Now, something like this, you're not going to be felling a tree, right, to make a dugout canoe or anything like that. But the best type of firewood are dead limbs that haven't fallen from the tree because they're good and dry, they burn well, things like that. They haven't laid on the ground and soaked up water and got full of worms and things like that. And how are you going to get it off of there? Just jump up and down on it? No, you're going to chop it off, right? And you're also going to use these things for rope, cutting rope, building shelter, digging holes. In fact, my hatchet right now is covered in dirt because it was just recently working as a pickaxe. Latest project that I'm going to be working on, it goes right along with the survival skills, is I bought a kit for these moccasins, right? Good moccasins. And as you can see, the kit came with everything that I need, all the way down to the needles, okay? Now, out in the wild, okay, you're not going to be able to get a hold of moccasin kit. But the reason I bought it is because it comes with the pattern. So from now on, I won't be buying my moccasins, I'll be making them. And I'm going to make a couple or 3 pairs. I'm going to make them out of different materials, denim and so on. You can make them out of canvas, burlap, right? If you don't have access to the leather or you're against leather. But the point is, the more you make them, the better you're going to get. So I'm going to make 2 or 3 pairs of moccasins and learn how to make moccasins, because another thing that you're going to need sooner or later down the road is something to put on your feet. And so that's my next project. It's not going to be in this video, but I swear I'm going to video the whole thing, and I'm going to make a compilation video of it when I'm done, show you from beginning to end. They're not pre-cut, okay? They are just pieces of leather here. You have to build it yourself. Basically all they did was give me the materials I need. So it's going to be a good project. Hoping for the best, you know, trial and error and all that. I only got 1 set here. So that's going to be my next project, and sooner or later it's going to be on video. This summer I'm also going to make my first boomerang. Okay, I've used throwing sticks before, but never a boomerang. And so I'm going to make my first boomerang. That's going to be another video coming up later in the series of the, I guess, new and improved, one might say, HedgeTV. And that's really all the time I got right now. So I'm going to go ahead and clear out. And just remember, very important, get the steel while you can.